The union of the hammer and sickle is a communist emblem. It signifies the unification of rural and industrial workers, with the hammer representing workers and the sickle representing peasants. The history of its origin is full of secrets and mysteries. Freemasonry, Hinduism, and ancient Aryan and Slavic mythology are all found in the two crossed implements on the Soviet emblem. The hammer and sickle are associated with the Masonic symbol of the hammer and chisel. In European religious symbology, the hammer is associated with aggressive male force, for example, the hammer of the blacksmith Hephaestus in Greek mythology. The thunder gods Svarog and Thor, respectively in Slavic and Norse myths, wielded it in their hands. In China and India, it symbolizes the destructive triumph of the forces of evil. In various religions, the sickle is interpreted as a symbol of death. It is interesting to note that death was depicted not with a scythe but specifically with a sickle during the Middle Ages. The pagan pantheons of various Indo-European and Slavic peoples feature a goddess called Mara or Morana, who traditionally held a sickle in her left hand. In Hinduism, the goddess of death, Kali, has a sickle in her left hand. The origin of the union of the hammer and sickle is ambiguous. Several variants were initially worked out: a hammer and sickle, a hammer and rakes, a hammer and pitchforks, and a hammer and plough. In 1894, Chilean coins included the hammer and sickle symbol for the first time. Then, the Russian Revolution began with a bang. Vladimir Lenin and Anatoly Lunacharsky, Russian revolutionary, politician, and political thinkers, launched a competition in 1917 to design a Soviet emblem. Yevgeny Kamzolkin was named the winner. It is interesting to note that Kamzolkin was not even a communist and, furthermore, he was a deeply religious man from a wealthy family. He was a member of the Mystical Artistic Society of Leonardo da Vinci for more than 10 years and perfectly understood the meaning of the symbols. The winning design included a hammer and sickle on top of a globe surrounded by sun rays. A wreath of grain under a 5-point star surrounded the inscription "Proletarians of the World, Unite," in 6 languages. It initially included a sword, but Lenin was against it because of the violent undertones. Finally, the emblem was approved on July 6, 1923. The symbol of hammer and sickle had different usages. It was used on the flags of the countries and political parties inclined to the ideologies of communism. It was also used on state emblems, coats of arms, badges, and logos. Since the beginning of the 21st century, the usage of the hammer and sickle on national flags and state emblems or coats of arms has significantly reduced. Now only Angola uses a half-gear wheel with a machete resembling the hammer and sickle on their national flag. However, it is mainly used on the flags, emblems, badges, and logos of the communist parties worldwide. As for another usage, Russian Airlines uses the hammer and sickle symbol. Curiously, the eagle on the coat of arms of revolutionary Austria also holds a sickle in its left claw, and the sickle is likewise placed on that side on the Soviet crest. The hammer and sickle symbol has long been a prominent theme in socialist realism, but also in non-Marxist popular culture. The most famous example is Andy Warhol, who made several drawings and pictures of the hammer and sickle. The union of hammer and sickle has been a dominant symbol throughout the 20th century. However, after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991, it began to lose its appeal and has almost gone into oblivion.